Welcome back, Mr. Code.
Hey, Judge. Good to be back. So, what took so long to get me back here anyway? And is that drone in the repair bay yet?
It's en route. Anyway, there was a lot of interference planet-side, so it took multiple attempts to find and teleport you back.
Multiple attempts?
Yes, there was also a malfunction in its targeting as usual, and ended up pulling in random objects. Oh, and also—
Yeah, I get it. Let's see. Statue of Princess Celestia, statue of Luna, Discord lamp, and a vapid, dumb-looking statue of Voice of Reason. Who would build such an ugly thing?
Not a statue, jackass.
Whoa. Loud is not allowed. You're being rather rude, sir.
I'll be as loud as I want to be. I got sent to a frozen oblivion and was almost killed by wampas because of you in this ship. Now, if the universe will let me finish my review of...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That was funny.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Voice, come on now. Let's just count to 10 and...
10.
Look, there's other things you could be focusing your anger on, like Fiendship is magic number 3. What do you say? Come on, let out all your frustrations on the thing that wronged you.
20 minutes later.
You know, Code, you were right. That was very therapeutic. It's good to let out your frustrations. Your courtroom's this way, right?
Yeah, I'll be with you in a minute. Just a quick trip to the medical facility to fix my everything. Ow.
We open up this comic, in ancient Greece apparently, as we meet the villains from Rainbow Rocks in their hippocampus form. They're on the way to Camelot, after a tasty snack in Trottingham, as they look for a grander stage to perform on and cause disharmony.
All right, wait, I'm coming. All right, I'm here. Whew. Sorry about that. The medical drones had trouble dislodging that Discord statue out of my... Well, you know, lots of shards. Anyway, one of the interesting things in this comic is seeing Equestria's depiction. It's rare when we actually get to see ancient Equestria in the comics or show, so it's rather refreshing to see Equestria take on this more Greek-Roman aesthetic from the clothing to the structures, and it makes the story and setting feel more organic seeing as the comic stars creatures from Greek mythology. I guess over time Equestria must have adopted a more nudist ideology in these modern times.
I really like how the architecture is drawn in this comic. I wonder who drew... Oh no. No. I changed my mind. I don't want to do this comic anymore.
You're going nowhere, Voice!
Because the teleporter's not charged, so you really can't go anywhere. Yeah, neater.
Okay, remember my Friends Forever number 7 review where I said there's only one person's artwork I just don't like? Well, she's the artist for today's issue, Agnes Garbowska. Now, my problem actually isn't in the line work or the inking, as she has done great line work in recent comics, such as issue 38 of the main line. No, my problem is in the coloring. Every page she colors looks like it's always at sunset or it's underwater. Perfect example of this is in the Spike Micro series where you can clearly see Angel Bunny has a purplish outline on him. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, too much purple! Okay, got that out of my system. Let's continue with the story.
Speaking of the creators, we have Ted Anderson as the writer, and he did a good job of capturing the personalities of the trio from the Rainbow Rocks debut, with Sonata being the blissful ditz, Aria cold and angry, and Adagio the calculating and cunning leader. Though that's one of the more glaring problems with this comic, as we never really expand upon their characters. For a comic that touts the origins of the Sirens, the story really doesn't reveal their origin, where they're from, discovering their power, or even why they're stealing the power in the first place. I guess it's just a Greek mythology mentality of the Sirens just screwing with everyone.
Which apparently has already happened, seeing how No Pony notices the mythological creatures are entering a singing contest. No wonder ancient Greece fell so easily. It wasn't the city-state structure, it was sheer stupidity.
Also, this makes no sense with the Sirens failing to dominate the audiences due to the citizens' particular taste in music, because the Sirens' abilities in both Greek mythology and Rainbow Rocks demonstrated they could control others based on power, not taste.
So the trio, after failing to win over a crowd in Camelot with their singing, sweet Celestia, it hurts to say that, Aria suggests they change up their repertoire, and you'll never guess how they come up with their name for the new style. Sonata blows a bubblegum bubble, pops it, and thus, pop music was born. I think I just lost a couple of brain cells after reading that frame.
I can't even remember who you are. Eliora? Tune Critic? Voice of Treason?
Close enough.
Anyway, Star Swirl the Bearded is on the scene, however, and proceeds to combat the Muse's magic. How does he do it? He proceeds to have a battle of the bands with them. Oh dear, where does one even begin? First off, this guy is supposed to be, as quoted by Twilight, one of the most important sorcerers of the pre-classical era, created over 200 spells, interdimensional travel, and is basically one of the most powerful arcane users of the period. Yet he can't defeat these three with any type of offensive spell? And here's the real kicker and real problem I have with this situation. This is just silly, in a dumb rather than entertaining way. Look, when Star Swirl was dimensional crossing with Celestia, we saw that he was a carefree, eccentric stallion that had fun on their many misadventures. However, he knew that when the fate of the world was being affected, he knowingly put his hoof down not to risk any harm to Equestria citizens. Here, he spends his entire days and night over the course of what has to be weeks, combating the sirens in musical battles with them gradually gaining more power every night. There are lives at stake. Riots could occur with the negativity being released. You think Star Swirl, in all his infinite knowledge, taking time, creating and practicing new musical genres, he could have been formulating a real solution to this problem. This is just ridiculous, and it just clashes with the ancient setting with all these pop culture references.
So, according to the comic, 23 different styles of music were created during the concerts. Some were created by the Sirens, which includes a barbershop trio of the Seahorses singing a ponified version of Sound of Silence, but also the biggest eyesore in the comic, Star Swirl the Bearded as a 1980s rapper. Where do I begin on this image? First, the coloring. The paint blends into the background, almost looking like someone accidentally spilled the blue color onto the page. Second, Star Swirl's outfit. Let's ignore for the moment that this style of rapping doesn't mix with the classical setting, and let's look at how ridiculous his outfit is. The outfit is so garish, I didn't realize that the blue color was actually part of his outfit and not his fur. Of course, I didn't realize this until we were rereading the comic because I was too focused on his waistline. What? Look at it! The sweatpants are so tight the band looks like it's suffocating his belly. Horse anatomy does not work that way. Not even Pinkie Pie had the tight pants.
Yeah, sure, that's what you were analyzing. Definitely not his well-toned flanks.
Shut up. Third, and most importantly, Star Swirl the Bearded is rapping in ancient Greece! Ah!
I feel fantastic, and I never felt as good as how I do right now, except for maybe when I think of how I felt that day, when I felt the way that I do.
Sorry about that, folks. So anyway, you think it couldn't get any worse from here with the rapping, right? Oh, it gets better. So what is Star Swirl's solution? Well, as we saw in the Rainbow Rocks, he banished them into another dimension. Now, from the movie's perspective, this makes his actions seem like a wise, logical plan to stop the sirens by sending him to a world without magic. However, from the comics perspective, he comes off as an idiot and kind of a jackass. Why? Because he says he couldn't find a way to defeat the sirens, so he just sends them off to another dimension, hoping someone else over there will defeat them and fix the problem. Oh dear lord, it's like Superman 701 all over again.
Because moving the problem is the exact same thing as solving the problem, isn't it?
Star Swirl couldn't defeat the sirens, so he just said, I'll send them somewhere else so that here is better.
And it's over there's problem now, and it can deal with it on its own.
Good lord, he had no idea where he was even sending them. He just zapped the mirror, sucked them in, and bye. What if he accidentally sent them into a pacifist dimension? The sirens would have conquered them with no trouble at all. Hey Star Swirl, instead of playing the guitar, how about you create a spell where you can freeze your opponent and not take the lazy easy option? Oh, wow, that was bad.
So, our comic ends with the sirens ending up in the Equestria Girls universe. No idea how they stay the same age for over 1,000 years in one dimension and time travel to a modern day town. Maybe it's like the Phantom Zone and everyone stays a similar age, or why the hell am I thinking about this? This comic was terrible! Ted Anderson is my favorite writer of the MLP comics. This was clearly one of his off days. The clashing of cultures, the stupidity of the Canterlot citizens, and one of the dumbest origin stories for how the sirens were able to almost take over Equestria. Not to mention, ruining Star Swirl's character by making him an incompetent and lazy jackass who, according to this comic, wanted to have the sirens use their music potential for good instead of evil.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy this and not join them!
It doesn't help that the comic looks like it was underwater for a majority of the story, thanks to the terrible coloring. Definitely a skip when it comes to the Fiendship is Magic miniseries.
I agree with you all the way. This comic is just awful. Seeing the ancient Equestria aesthetics and cultures is cool, but the story is just dumb. No real character expansion or origin of the sirens, and the worst part is Star Swirl's depiction. There's such a character disconnect from the wise but fun eccentric warlock we saw from the Reflections comic. And see him degraded in this display of the Battle of the Bands and that stupid ending. Oh dear Celestia, that was bad. And unfortunately, it only goes downhill from here, folks, as next time it's Nightmare Moon's origin.
Alright, teleporter ready and waiting, Mr. Code.
Sweet. So, you're not mad about me kicking the ever-living crap out of you earlier, are you?
Nah, it's cool. I've never been one to really hold a grudge.
What about that thing with pizza and
Well, he came at me with a chainsaw and a rubber chicken.
But he didn't.
Chainsaw! Anyway, so long, voice, and have a good day.
Have a good day as well. See ya, BronyCon.
Well, I have to admit, that was very mature of you, Mr. Code. I'm proud of you not holding that beating against him. You truly are a stallion among stallions. A beacon of light and hope, and you sent him somewhere he doesn't like, didn't you?
Maybe.
I hate you.